Welcome to Comet vendor side platform demonstration. When you log into the platform, you should be able to see this screen from your login. This is the first screen of quotations that we go into. I've clicked on quotes on the top. We'll use this bar to navigate between different quotes and shipments. So when I am at the quotes tab, I am able to see different quotations which are yet to be submitted or already been submitted by me for a particular customer. I will just discuss these details which are seen on each quotation in a bit of detail. So this is the Comet ID, which is unique for a particular shipment. This is the time when this shipment was actually created. This is the bid status, that what till what time is the bidding open, and if it is closed, then it will show that this bid is closed. The next, it shows the service of the this particular shipment, door to door, and the mode, which is LCL in this case. This is an export shipment, and it also shows the product in small detail, the service and product in parentheses. It also shows the origin port and origin location. Port of loading is Nhava Sheva, JNPT in this case. Origin is Halol in Gujarat. Destination is Wixom, USA, which is the final destination. Port of discharge is Detroit in United States. Status pending, which means that the quote is not yet submitted for this. To get to know more details about this, we'll just click on view, or rather I'll just click on view in this FCL shipment. Once in this screen, I will scroll down to see the inquiry details on my right hand side. Inquiry details. It shows the type of the shipment, export FCL, Incoterm, DDP in this case, service, door to door, origin address, and port of loading, port of discharge. It also shows the destination address. This is a different shipment, hence we have different destination address. Container type, 20 feet container, product, which is APIs, cargo ready date. If it's given by the customer, it will be shown here, 29th of March in this case. Stuffing location is factory stuffing, and the customer has option to choose factory stuffing or dock stuffing. De-stuffing location is dock de-stuffing in this case. The customer has the option to choose from factory de-stuffing. If it's an import shipment, then they can choose factory de-stuffing, dock de-stuffing, and DDP, which is direct port delivery, DPD. Charges required by client. So this field here shows that which charges has the customer requested for this particular shipment. For example, he has asked that this is an export shipment. So on origin, he has asked for custom clearance charges, port charges, and warehouse charges. On destination, is also asked from custom clearance charges, port charges, and warehouse charges. Any comments mentioned by the customer will also be visible here. In this case, it's please quote your best. Moving on to the left side of the screen, we shall be able to see three clear-cut sections, which are ocean freight and other country charges, customs clearance in India, and inland transportation in India. These three charges are divided by the rule. Freight forwarders, the freight forwarder quoting for the shipment will quote for ocean freight and other country charges. And if that person or that company is also playing the role of customs clearance, they are also able to submit the customs clearance in India quotation. And if they also service the transportation, they are able to give the inland transportation charges in India. Three different sections are created for three types of charges. Here is how we submit a quote. I will just go to this, I'll use this edit marker here. When I click on edit, the different subsections are already created based on what the customer requires, and we can see it here. Freight charges, origin port charges, origin agent charges, destination agent charges, destination port charges, customer clearance charges, destination transportation charges. So if we have all that information, we can put it, since the customer had requested. It's visible. It was visible in the charges required by the customer, that all these charges are required. So I click on edit this. There are a few columns here. One is price. For example, for ocean freight 20 feet, I have this. I can put in the price, number of units. For example, number of containers. In this case, unit types. We'll just select container here. I'll just put in the price also. 1500 units per container, and currency is, I can select the currency also here, which is US dollars. I can select from different units. BL in LCL it's W by M, or ton by CBM, by shipment. Right? In this case, for this 20 feet, it is per container. Tax, let's say no tax is applicable for this. Moving on to the other parts of the charges, origin port charges. Let's say this shipment has 15,000 as a per container in INR as DHC. BGM would say 2,500 rupees. Sure. Similarly, other charges can be put in. If I want to add another section in this particular subsection, another line item, I can click on plus here and I can put in the name of the charge. Like this. I shall be able to see fix another option. I can put in another line item if I want to. And similarly, these are the port charges which are charged by the shipping authorities. Origin agent charges, for example, 1,000 rupees in this case. Destination agent charges, destination port charges. Custom clearance charges, let's say 2,000 US dollars. Destination transportation charges. So right now we were able to fill in most of the charges which are required for this shipment. In fact, this is the complete quotation that we have filled, and now we are able to also finalize which currency the customer sees the quote in. He can it's the option of seeing it in various currencies. For example, now he sees the quote in INR, the total quote in INR. Some other details we can also give for this shipment: validity of the quotation. So I will just select 31st March here. I can also give the transit time, let's say 30 days, retention free time 14 days, name of the shipping line. I can select the shipping line name, give the schedule, which is the days of the week, for example, say Monday and Wednesday. I can also give whether there is any transshipment, let's say Port Canal. Now there is the comment section. Here the comment section, we can give in the terms and conditions for this particular shipment. For example, only 3 days at destination warehouse. Only 3 days free at destination warehouse. And any other comments we can also give. By clicking on save code, I shall be able to save this on my platform, and this green marker shows here that it's successfully saved. I can also show it to the client from here. By just saving the code, it's not shown to the client. We have to click on show to client also. So now the code is shown to client. I'll just close this, and it's visible that this merge client quotation of this much, transit time this much, validity this much is visible to the, it's submitted to the customer here. Now let's submit the custom clearance charges in India also. Say 5,000 INR per year. tax of 15%. Other charges can also be put in as required. Similarly, I can give the comments for this. I can save it. Just by saving it, it's showing here, but this green marker is not completed and it's not showing as submitted. So if I click on send to customer, I can send to customer from here also. So it will be submitted to the customer. Inland transportation charge, similarly, I can also give when requested by the customer. This is how we give the exact quotation, and we can fill in all the relevant details. This quotation is visible is from multiple vendors, is visible to the customer in a clear tabulated format, that they can also download the Excel sheets directly from for various subheadings, and they can compare it among the multiple vendors. A couple of points, a couple of new another features I'd like to cover here. One is that, for example, this is the code from Musk line, and I want to add another code from, say, NYK line. Without, when I know that all other charges are almost similar, I just need to change the name of the shipping line and a bit of the freight charge. So I will use the copy button. When I create a copy, all of that charge is automatically pre-filled. If you see the port charges, the agent charges, the destination port charges, and destination transportation charges, everything is pre-filled here. I can change the required amount. Let's say $1,400. I'll just show the visibility of the current rate, and I will put in the validity. Similarly, rest of the details I will fill. Transit time, say 40 days for this one. Detention fill time 14 days. Shipping line NYK as we have discussed. Schedule is Wednesday, Saturday. Transshipment via. I can give any comments also. Similarly, I'll just save this code and show to client. So as you can see, I was able to give this code to the customer in less than a minute with by using a previous code that I had filled in. This code is also submitted to the client. So the customer will now see both the quotations from you, and he will be able to compare it with the rest of the quotations he has received from other vendors. Similarly, I can give the charges again for costing clearance in it. If I want to add all three new codes, I can click on add new code here, and it will create a empty quotation field. This is the number 3 code under ocean freight and country charges. It will create another empty quotation field where I can again put in all the charges, and I can save it. Now let's come to another important feature, which is called the autofill feature. So once we have already filled in a quotation for one particular shipment, in the next shipment, based on a couple of features that are matched, for example FCL, and it should match the that it should it's an FCL, and the a number of containers, like type of containers 20 feet, 40 feet, all of that, we can easily pre-fill the quotation from a quotation we had filled in another inquiry. Let's say this one only from another inquiry, we can just copy it. So that quotation from the previous shipment is automatically filled in, and the details are also filled. I can just save it and show it to client, or I can make any small changes, and then I can show it to client. Please note one thing, that after showing it to client, you can only reduce the freight charge, but you cannot increase it. You can only decrease the fields. You cannot add any fields after showing it to client. If you have to increase the charges, you must delete a particular quotation, and then you must add a new quotation to give all the charges separately in the ocean freight charges. I'll just repeat that. If you can only decrease the charges once they are submitted to the client. If you have to increase the you have to increase or give different charges, you will have to create a new quotation and probably copy the previous quotation in that, autofill the previous quotation in that, and hence give the charges. So we have covered how we can edit it and show it to customers. We have also covered how multiple quotations can be filled in for a particular inquiry. I'll just cover two more points. In each quotation, there is an exchange rate field, which is the our current exchange rate as from a particular website we are taking, and 2% is added in that. You can leave it like this here only, and we have a separate field later for exchange rate, which is finally charged for this shipment. You can put in your exact exchange rate there. Now, for as we have seen, for custom clearance charges, mostly there are contracts with the clients in many cases. So how do we avoid submitting the contract rates again and again and again? So I'll just click on edit. So this is the custom clearance charges fields. I'll just autofill from a previous quotation that I had filled. So basic charges are filled. So if I mark this as a contract rate and I put a validity on this, let's say it's validity till December 31st. I can put in the comments that I require for this. I can save and submit to the customer. Now this rate is showing under contract here, which means that the customer will be able to choose this contract rate automatically from in his new shipments until that validity from this rate only. You don't need to submit it again and again. And once the customer awards you the business after submitting a contract rate, you should get a notification that this rate has been awarded to you. But that quotation on which you are submitting the contract rate is automatically submitted, that will also still be visible in the quotes section in all the inquiries list. And you will also get a notification in your email that a new inquiry has been given to you and your contract rate is submitted to the customer. So this was the FCL shipment. We just submitted the rate. I'll just this is an LCL shipment. I'll just check this also. Like in the FCL, I can see all the required information. I can put in the freight charges, LCL freight and port charges, agent charges, whatever details are required by the customer, and I can submit the quotes. Let's cover one more feature, which is the auto bidding, basically the reverse bidding, which we automatically employ on the platform. So this gives the freight forwarders and CHAs more visibility into what other vendors are charging them, so that they can modify their bids accordingly. The bids can only be modified till the bid closing time is going on, till this time is valid before the bidding is closed. So if I scroll down, I am able to see the details of the inquiry, and I'm also able to see the freight and other charges which we just submitted for this quotation. If I scroll up, I am able to see the section which is quotes received by client. It's also showing the quotes which you have submitted in increasing order. So the other quotes which are right now, only this vendor has submitted the quotes to the client. I'm using a demo vendor whose name is demo vendor 1. So it's anonymously it's showing that these are the quotes which are received by the client. If the customer has received clients from other vendors, you should also be able to see them here in increasing order itself. This is the freight quotes, and the custom clearance quotes will also be visible, and transportation quotes will also be visible in this section. So please be sure to check this again and again, so that you are able to check about the latest updates of the quotes on a particular shipment. You'll also get a notification when, in a couple of cases, for example, when another vendor has quoted lower than you, then you will be you will be getting a notification on your registered email that you can look at the platform along with the link to this inquiry, this quotation request. So these this part covers mostly everything in the quotations section, how to submit the quote. Um, Basically, we can use the logins. The vendors are required to use the logins for each team they have. For example, one office in Mumbai and one office in Delhi. They will have two separate logins.